came here, when did you get back, Calum?
We got back on Thursday.
Thursday,
and I haven't straight to Melbourne. We just stayed in Melbourne, and then we did
where have you been staying in Melbourne?
Well, these guys been up there.
Yeah.
South Wharf.
Yeah.
So, it's been really nice.
No one does.
History?
No one knows that I had to.
I've just been to the beach and collected all the kelp for the dogs because they like to.
What are those?
Kelp.
Kelp.
So this latches onto the rock, and then there's got a great load of seaweed behind it. They love to chew on it. It's kind of like better than a marrow bone, really. But you can see it's very dry. We haven't had rain for months.
Oh.
So,
What kind of dog do you have?
He's a mix between a lab and a German Shepherd. And
yeah, but the tiniest little birds, this big man and these tiny little finches. And unfortunately for Calum, because he hasn't been here, I've just tried to grow a passion fruit vine over his aviary. Yes, it's a very impressive aviary.
Yeah, it's very big.
Little hobby.
Yeah.
Good little hobby.
Yeah.
And you used to go and sell them, didn't you?
It had doves, finches, parrots, quail,
Had everything in there.
Yeah.
weavers.
Building up his muscles, we flipped the tyre over there. Still trying to get rid of that tyre, Calum.
My brother, we got it from the tip. My brother found it.
You guys sit back out here.
I haven't flipped it. I haven't flipped it for a long time.
One of his other brothers, before Calum and Alex got to tyre flipping age, Harley used to come down here with his bike and he'd have a spade and dig. I mean, all the boys, the local boys, would get the spades and they'd sometimes go to where they shouldn't go, sort of random local common ground, and build these mounds that they could then bring their bikes down and do the jumps. You know?
Oh, okay.
So, having a bit of a wild backyard leaves you free to go.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, the sun's gone. This morning it was just beautiful down there, but you still want to get in the water for a swim.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. You're going to go down to the beach, Calum?
I'm going to show them the surf club.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the key, show them the surf club gym that I used to train at. My brother surfing.
That's the little blue room.
That's right, yeah. I just gave mum. Yep.
And you'll see he's up there, the environmental award. We used to, it's when we lived in the country and we had chooks and ducks and geese.
So I'm showing these guys, we've just brought them here because Steve Blackman is the owner of Muscular. He's the owner of MD. So he wanted to get as much content while these guys are in town and come down and show them home and the surf club.
Just to give you an environment of where
Come to Anglesea.
I just showed them the kangaroos at the golf course, so they'd never seen the kangaroo before. Daniel Ketchell, who I'd been emailing, he recognised me and he said to Arnold, "This is the guy I told you about," and he introduced me really quickly.
Yeah.
And he came back and he said, I can't even remember.
What he said.
I can't even remember. I hope I said something normal because I can't really remember what I...
Something about give us a double bicep.
Yeah, that's right. He said, let's do double biceps, and he rolled up my sleeve and and I think he was happy. Yeah.
I can imagine when they.
He's very professional. What he did. He was very shows that he's very very good at what he does. Takes the photo.
Something he would have done.
It was like 20 great seconds, and then he's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's got a lot of ground to cover, and he's done this in public. But do you walk up the side of buildings and stuff like that?
Right, it's like Spider-Man.
Do in a hurry?
Gecko.
No, but they're actually a lot more comfortable than you think.
No, they look very comfortable.
Yeah, and the thing is you actually get the amount of stability you get from having your pinky toe free floating as opposed to in a shoe is incredible. You wouldn't think it, but it's.
I knew a bloke who had to have his
minus 40, minus 45. I think it's gotten as cold as minus 50. And it snows on top of it. You got to be outside shoveling or something.
Because it's usually me holding the camera, you see. Mums always want to have the family photos, don't they? Everyone's together, let me get the shot. So
here we are in Anglesea. This is the house that I grew up in. and these are my parents, Ingrid and Stephen, and so this is my house, and this is where I spent most of my childhood, or half my childhood, growing up.
When Calum's probably spent most of his time outside playing soccer when he was a young lad, didn't you? So you were lucky to get in the house sometimes. It was like stay out until sunset, really.
Yeah.
And that was good, kicking the ball around. We used to have to drive a long way, and then we'd have to get home, and Calum would have to collect the wood to light the fire to heat the house. So this time of year it's comfortable, but in winter it can get pretty cold too. Not as cold as what you tell us it is in America. Yeah. Every now and again you get into trouble. I remember, I think that window upstairs is still cracked. Was that the one that you gave him a...
I didn't do that.
You didn't have a football up on the window?
Maybe,
Don't most houses have a cracked window from a football?
Before this, we moving down to the coast. We used to live in a place called Elphinstone, and it was on 1.5 acres, and we had chickens and ducks and geese and a couple of goats, pony, and our vegetable garden, which Ingrid was very busy in.
Yes.
And Calum used to love looking after the birds, the chickens, and feeding the ducks and the geese.
Stealing all their little games, their
And
eggs.
I rarely saw Calum without some sort of a bird on his arm. It was perched on his arm, whether it was a chicken or a duck. Didn't seem to matter.
Remember when he had the ducklings? Was it the ducklings? And he had one duckling in each
right.
hand?
No, the chickens. No, that's right.
He's going to teach them how to fly.
And he's running down this pathway with these chickens on his arms, saying, "Fly, you bastards, fly."
Mum used to have a big vegetable garden. We used to eat a lot of food. Like, we used to grow a lot of different. Used to do a lot of cooking.
We had a red currant bush
They
and a
liked
black
it.
currant bush, and I'd just sort of say, go and sit under the bush, and they could just eat the
Everyone wants
berries
to
off
know.
the bushes.
Everyone wants to know how I eat what I eat, and I don't put on fat. Basically, why you know.
Healthy upbringing.
Well, healthy upbringing,
Well,
yeah,
we
it's very
never-
healthy, but now
We
it's,
never had takeaway, did we?
No.
We never had takeaway.
We pretty well stayed clear of pretty well all processed foods.
Yeah.
We weren't
I made
nutty
my
about
own
it. Yeah, the odd
yes.
biscuit, and Ingrid used to make the cakes and things like that occasionally, but our main diet was
Brown rice,
brown
lentils and coleslaw.
just the normal fruit and vegetables, some meat.
Nuts.
By and large, just stayed. We just didn't really entertain the idea of takeaway. I guess we ate natural foods before it was all called natural foods. Once there was the introduction of widespread fast foods, etc. Even though that had been around since the 60s, etc. We just was never part of our regular diet. So Calum was it was first nature to him, living off from what we produced in our own garden and just fruit and vegetables. And
I just didn't want to
etc.
have to pay dental bills, you see. Having a lot of kids, I thought no lollies, no sweets, no sugar. So all the sugar had to come from natural sources. So I'd buy a watermelon and we'd cut it up and we'd eat the whole watermelon. So remember that, spitting out pips off the veranda?
Yeah.
So it was out of a sense of mother's economy, not wanting to have to deal with dentists, and we used to have a truck come and deliver because we lived a little bit away from supermarkets, and I didn't want to have to spend money driving to town to buy food all the time. So we'd have big bags of rice delivered, bottles of apple juice, tunnel dried sultanas,
Wheaties.
remember, and one day I had
Old
so
Wheaties.
much old puffed rice left over, remember, and I thought, okay, this is stale, too stale to use, poured it all out in the garden, and the goslings, the geese had just had goslings that had hatched, and the goslings started eating all this puffed rice and they got bloat. We had to kill them all.
Yeah,
Remember?
I do.
We had to give them a sweet death to drown them. You don't want to know about that, do you?
Well, it's sort of relevant. I guess it's like what happens when bodybuilders have too much carbs. They're dying. They get
You blow up and you have to
blasted. Fortunately, it goes away.
Yeah.
It's just something that I think that some people have got a gift, and there's something in Calum's makeup where his physique, he was very good at soccer, he was very quick on his feet, had good eye coordination, eye-hand coordination, but he also just naturally very fit and quite athletic in build. And working on that, I think with working with, or seeing his older brothers, Alex and Harley, some of the things when they took him down to the local gym here, through backyard affair at the back of the surf club, wasn't it?
That was
in the
Noble Street gym.
Yeah, the backpackers or something.
Yeah, next to the back.
Yeah, one of those, just a really small time amateurish gym. But I've seen some of the other bodybuilders have just gone with over time they seem to have lost their way. And I was speaking to Calum about I hope you don't get super huge and turn into it's just a freak show where they just get big for big's sake, and things just become I think disproportionate. Just these really blown out bodies that now start to look, they're just massive and quite grotesque in many ways. But I think that I just like to see Calum keep that classic balance of tone and size and proportion.
It's nice after a bit of rain, the sun comes out and it goes into glass.
Go get a nice panoramic picture.
Yeah, you get. Okay, so here we are at the Anglesea lookout, and behind me we have Point Road Night Beach, and just down here is the Anglesea main beach. This is where I spent a lot of my childhood growing up, and as you can see, it's not a bad place to grow up, spend your teenage years. Every summer we'd go down here, we'd go to the gym, go down the shops, eat chickens, go to the beach, sunbake, look at pretty girls, so that was pretty cool. And it's actually, we're very close by to a famous beach in Australia called Bells Beach, which is actually just out past this point on the horizon. And it's a famous beach where the Rip Curl Pro is held. So yeah, we got some fans down here in the buses. Give them a wave, give them a flex. How you doing down there? So anyway, yeah, so the famous Rip Curl Pro. You guys have got a pro surfer, Kelly Slater, a few other surfers. So every year around this time of the year, actually, they gather down here for the prestigious event. And yeah, so this is the best time of the year to be down here, summer. It's not a bad place to be.